folks, Maverick Indicators here. Welcome to another edition of Back to the Trading Week, where we look back at the week and we see how would we have done using one of our Maverick indicators. Would we have been green or would we have been red for the week? And today we're going to look back because the market's closed today. Today's Good Friday, so the market is closed. We're going to look back at Monday through Thursday and we're going to try and make $1,500 per day. That's right, $1,500 large. We're going to look to make every single day this past week, Monday through Thursday, because again, today is Friday and the market is closed. So what better time to kind of look back, see how we could have gotten better, and really how would we have done using some of our Maverick indicators. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the orb strategy. We did this last weekend and it was just a banger. We won 5 out of 5 days. If you're unfamiliar with the orb strategy, just go back to last weekend's video. I will link that in the description below, and we kind of give you a quick refresher of the opening range breakout strategy. Most of you guys know it, super popular right now, especially the 5-minute orb strategy. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Maverick orb indicator to outline that and give us the signals, and we're going to combine that with one of our flagship indicators, the Maverick AI Pro. The coolest thing about the Maverick AI Pro, and let me jump over to my charts here, it colors your candles to this data formula we have going on in the background. And what do I mean by that? Think of it like a heat map. It colors your candles like a heat map to this formula that we're looking at to understand what is underneath the hood. What's all the buying data and the selling data telling us underneath the hood, not just price and direction. And so if you look at it, hot pink candles are your strongest downside data candle. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. This was a huge move. Doesn't look like it because the next move is huge, but this is a pretty dang big move. I mean, even from here, 35 down to 60, what was this? 635 down to, okay, so this is a 30-point move. That's 120 ticks, okay? 120 ticks on ES is probably about $1,500. What is that? Let me see here, 120. Let's see here, 120 ticks. 120 times 1250 is what? Yeah, 15. Okay, I am like the worst mathematician ever, but that's about $1,500. Gray candles means indecision or reversal. So if you look at this, people always say, hey, how do I stay out of the chop? How do I stay out of the chop? Well, don't get into gray candles, okay? Don't get into gray candles. Don't get into gray candles. Hey, I could do this all day long. Don't get into gray candles, okay? Don't get into gray candles. I mean, don't get into gray candles. Okay, you can see the power and the edge of this indicator, right? Gray candles means indecision or reversal. Bright green candles are your strongest data upside candle. Again, you're probably trading with red and green candles. What the Maverick AI Pro is doing is it's coloring your candles to the data underneath the hood, the data underneath the hood. So right here, if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. By the way, beautiful sell signal here, beautiful buy signal right here from the Maverick signals. And I'll probably do another video on that as well. But gray candles, we stay out. Bright green candles, we love to get into longs. And hot pink candles, if you see pink, it will most likely sink. So this is the power, and you're going to see the power of how this can keep you on the right side of the opening range breakout strategy. Again, if you're unfamiliar with that, I will put a link in the description on last weekend when we did a quick refresher on the opening range breakout strategy. So again, what we're going to do for this week of the Back to the Trading Week, and we look back, we're going to take that Maverick orb indicator to outline our opening range breakout, and we're going to use it with the power of the Maverick AI Pro. And you're going to see how much edge this actually brings to it. We're going to try and make $1,500 a day, okay? So let me give you the quick rules of today before we hit the charts. We're going to trade ES. Kind of, run-of-the-mill ES, NQ, all that stuff. We're going to trade ES. We're going to use the 5-minute chart. We're going to use the 5-minute orb strategy because that is just so really popular right now, really popular. And you probably see why it's so popular in a second, and how the power of using the Maverick AI Pro along with this strategy is just, it's money. It's just money. My charts are always Eastern Standard Time, just so you guys know, but I think we all know what the opening range breakout is. Again, if not, go watch the video. I'll put the description at the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to look to make $1,500 per day, and we're going to risk 1,500. Okay. So if we lose, 2 of these days, it's just going to wipe out our profits. All right. So we're looking for $1,500 per day. All right, so let's jump onto the charts and let me show you how combining the opening range breakout along with the Maverick AI Pro is crazy edge. I mean, it's just so good. So let's try and make $1,500 a day. Let's go. Let's take a look at Monday. All right, folks, here we are on Monday. Let's take a look here. We're going to look to make $1,500 from the opening range breakout strategy using the Maverick AI Pro, because that's going to tell us if we have bright green candles, that's very strong upside data. If we have hot pink candles, let me see if I can find some, very strong downside data. We are not going to take any trade on a gray candle. We do not take trades on gray candles. So this is how it can keep us out of fake outs on the opening range breakout. How do I stay out of the chop? Don't get into gray candles. How do I stay out of the chop? Don't get into gray candles, okay? This is just part of the edge here of the Maverick AI Pro that is coloring your candles to the data that we're seeing underneath the hood. Think of it like a heat map. This is like having X-ray vision. Okay, let me remove this. Great. All right, so you guys can see my cursor right here. Oh, I got to go a little bit more. Market's about to open. You have bright green candles, your strongest upside data candle, but that doesn't mean anything because the market is about to open, okay? So here we go. Boom. There is your first candle. That is your opening range. The Maverick orb indicator is coloring it blue because we're in the middle. And here we go. We're going to try and make $1,500 per day. All right, so the rest of the world gets in right here, which might be okay. Potential opening range break. Potential. Why is it potential? Because we have a gray candle. We do not take trades on gray candles, okay? I want a clear data candle, meaning I want either green, which means to the upside, or red or pink, which is to the downside. I do not take trades on gray candles, okay? So here we go. So you got a potential opening range break. We're going to look to make $1,500, but we're not getting in yet because we have gray candles. All right. All right, there's our first actual downside data candle. Red or pink, we can take this trade. So here we go. I'm going to hit sell. I'm going to do take profit, 1500. Stop loss, 1500. Great. Okay, so if you, oh, by the way, all our indicators are available on NinjaTrader and TradingView. And if you're not familiar with TradingView, we need to hit this green line before we hit this orange line. Okay, name of the game is to make $1,500 per day. All right, so here we go. We have now entered this candle right here on a sell. We're looking to make $1,500. Boom, there you go. First candle, show you guys here. $1,500. You see it right here. All right, $1,500. We made our profit. Monday, oops, Monday is a win. Let's go look at Tuesday. All right, folks, here we are on Tuesday. I don't know if that's too zoomed in. Sorry about that. How do we stay out of the chop? Don't get into gray candles. How do we stay out of the chop? Don't get into gray candles. Gray candles means indecision or reversal. Okay. And we teach you all that when you get the indicators. But anyway, all right, cool. Market's about to open. You can see this Tuesday, the 31st, 9:25 a.m. Boom, there's your opening range right there. Bright green candle, strongest upside candle, okay? Boom, potential opening range break. Can we take this trade? I'll ask you right now. It's a rhetorical. I can't hear you because I'm recording this, but can we take this trade? Yes, we can. Why? Because it's not a gray candle. We have a bright green candle, which is your strongest upside data candle. It's the Maverick AI Pro is coloring your candles to the data, not to price and direction. So right now we got bright green candle. Yes, we can take this. We're going to hit the buy. We're going to look to make 1,500 bucks. Which, by the way, I would never roll with a one-to-one risk to reward. That is not a recipe for being a profitable trader over the long term. Not financial advice. Do your own research, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, but I like to stack the odds against us. All right, cool. We got to hit this green line before we hit this orange line. We are now taking this break because we have the signal and we have a bright green candle. All right, here we go. We're looking to make 1,500 bucks a day. Got some retracement, but this whole retracement, I have bright green candles, so I'm not even worried. Bam, there you go. And you got a second signal of the opening range break. This sucker went way past our profit target. Holy smokes. All right, so let me pull up the P&L. It resets every time I go to a new day, but 1,500 bucks right there, boom. So Monday we did our 1,500. Tuesday we did our 1,500. Let's look at Wednesday. All right, folks, let's look at Wednesday now. Here we go. Gray candles. We don't get into gray candles. Market's about to open. All right, boom. There's your opening range. There is your opening range. Okay. And then boom. Okay. Potential orb. Potential. Not for sure. Why? Gray candles. We don't get into gray candles. We do not get into gray candles. Plus, this only closed. I close about $3 over. I think if a candle closes about $1.50, which is only 4 to 6 ticks right above the Maverick orb on the 5-minute, I probably wouldn't take it. I'd probably wait for a little bit more confirmation. But we're not getting into this candle because it is gray. It is gray. And then look, it paid us dividends because we came right back down into the opening range. Now you got another potential opening range break, but it's only about 4 ticks below the opening range. So even if this was red right here, I'd probably wait for one more candle because red means is your second strongest downside data candle. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Now this is pre-market, so this is going to be, you know, everybody's waiting for the bell to ring. But you only closed about 4 ticks underneath. I'd wait for a little bit more confirmation, but guess what? I'm not getting in this thing because it's gray. It's gray, right? And look, gray. We don't get into gray candles, all right? So I want, because we're getting this chop, I want a definitive candle to close above or below the Maverick orb. Okay, look right here. Buy signal. Now my eyes and my ears are up. Now my eyes and my ears are up. Here we go. Okay, so there you go. But what I tell you, I want a little bit more definedness here. Now, it might screw me and I missed the move, but like when you're, jeez, I mean, this just closed above. 3 ticks? What is that? 3 ticks. So I want more confirmation. And this is where the green candles. Okay, so yeah, you're above it, like right here. But it's a green candle. It's bright green candle. It's your strongest upside candle, okay? So we're going to get in. We're going to get in. And what I say, 1,500. Stop loss, 1,500. Again, I wouldn't do a one-to-one on the regular, but I want to kind of put these indicators at a disadvantage. And here we go. Let's see. Up confidence arrow. Love that. We're up 878 bucks. 787 bucks. Whoa, holy smokes. How did I come up with that? $787. Okay. Up confidence arrow. Broke the orb, had a buy signal back here, and we waited for more confirmation that we were above there. Bright green candles. Boom. There you go. Get out of here. Let me show you guys this. There you go. There's your 1,500. Right there. So we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Wednesday, and we're guided by the colors. Yes, we're looking at price action. Yes, we want to break the opening range by a decent amount, but then we let the candle color tell us, are we going to continue to that upside? All right, we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Wednesday. Now let's take a look at Thursday. All right, here we are on Thursday. And remember, the market's closed on Friday. So this is the last day of the week we had to trade. You can look down here. Thursday was that April 2nd at 9:25. Okay, so market's about to open. Here we go. All right, here's your opening range. You have bright green candles, up confidence arrow. Okay, so here's your opening range. All right, gray candles. breaking the opening range. Tempting for most. We're breaking down below. We are far below. Remember I said I wanted a definitive candle to break, decently below the opening range. So you can get stuck in chop in here. But this is a potential orb. Why? Because it's a gray candle. We do not get into gray candles. Okay? So look. Let's see what happens. Now, if I start getting red candles, I'm in because we broke the opening range. If I get red or pink now, I'm getting in. All right, we're coming back up. Bright green candles, your strongest upside candle. But I can't get in yet because we haven't definitively broken the opening range. All right, there you go. That's pretty definitive, right? You're many, many ticks above the opening range. So here we go, potential opening range. Yes, bright green candle. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. So we're gonna buy this thing. We're gonna go take profit, 1,500. And we're gonna do stop loss, 1,500 right there, okay? All right, so now, and I hate getting in after such a big candle, but the rules are the rules. We definitively broke above the opening range, bright green candles. And here we go. We got an up confidence arrow, up confidence arrow. Boom. There, first candle. Oh my gosh. First candle. Here's your 1,500 bucks right there. This thing just looks like it wants to rip. Oh, buy signal. I'm just curious. Okay, so this thing just ripped straight up after that. Did you have to get out at 1,500? No, that's just what we're doing for this exercise, okay? So let's do a quick recap here and look how much of the world got in. Oh, I do the opening range break strategy. Okay, well, they got in right here, and unless they're scalping, they would have gotten spanked. But you had the Maverick AI Pro. You waited for the right color, the definitive break, and I mean, look at this thing. Holy smokes. The huge move. Huge move with very little drawdown. Unbelievable. All right, let's take a look at our week. All right, quick refresher. We were trading ES on the 5-minute chart with the opening range strategy on Eastern Standard Time, and we were looking for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, 1,500 to risk 1,500. And so Monday we hit our 1,500, Tuesday we hit our 1,500, Wednesday we hit our 1,500, and Thursday we hit our 1,500. Friday is today, markets close, Good Friday. So that gives us a total of $6,000 trading the 5-minute opening range breakout using the Maverick AI Pro. Obviously, the Maverick Orb indicator just outlines it and gives us potential orb signals, but using the Maverick AI Pro totally kept us out of at least one fake out that I remember, and maybe two. I'm trying to think now, but I went through the exercise quickly. But man, that is edge. That is unbelievable. And again, look at the description. I'll put the link to last week's video where we went 5 for 5 for the previous week. And we won every single day, and just a banger of a strategy, and it totally makes it all work having the Maverick AI Pro coloring your candles so we stay out of those gray candles and we only get into those definitive breaks of the opening range break with either a green candle or a red or pink candle, okay? And we teach you the heat map colors. But folks, this is edge right here. Not getting faked out, gray candles, waiting for the definitive break with a bright green candle. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Unbelievable. This is how the Maverick AI Pro brings edge to this very, very, very popular strategy. So if you want edge in the market, if you want clear vision of your charts, again, not financial advice, do your own research. I'm just showing, I can't rewrite history here, right? Okay, come check us out. All right, come check us out. Like I always say, it's free to look. And the Maverick Orb comes in the Ultimate Edge bundle. We give that to you for free. When you grab that lifetime one-time payment bundle, we give you the Maverick Orb for free. So come check us out. We would love, love, love to help you crush it. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.